Welcome to Moments with Marianne. I'm so delighted we're spending this time here today. We have a very inspiring show coming right up with special guest, Karen Fischer. And she's here today to share with us her new book, The Healthy Skin Kitchen. Now, Karen is a nutritionist, mother of two, and an award-winning author whose personal family journey with eczema is the reason Skin Friend exists. As a qualified and certified nutritionist with a Bachelor of Health Science, Karen has specialized in eczema and skin health for the past 19 years. So let's welcome to the show, Karen Fischer.
Thanks, Marianne. Great to be here.
What an honor it is to have you here and to talk about this new book. What got you interested in healthy skin?
Well, look, I am the type of person I've always had skin problems from a very young age, and especially during my teenage years, I had severe hand dermatitis and breakouts. And when my daughter was born, she had eczema and it was quite severe. And I had studied nutrition and, I was a qualified nutritionist, and I just went down the normal route of, topical treatments for the eczema. And a nurse actually said to me, she was like, has your child still got eczema? And she was really, I thought, oh, that's really rude. Eczema is a genetic condition. What can I do about it? And she gave me some tips on salicylate sensitivity and chemical sensitivity. I went, oh, I know how to treat that, being a nutritionist. And it sent me on this whole journey of specializing in eczema and skin health. And that was over 20 years ago now.
How just inspiring that is. It's like you're the right person at the right time for this book, to write this book.
Yeah, it feels like that. So this book is a culmination of 20 years working with skin disorder patients, and I've had their feedback over the years, and we've had some wonderful success stories. And it was just time to share all of that.
And share all that great information with the world, which we're so grateful for. Because a lot of people have these type of problems and they don't really know the root cause or even how to address it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, over 30 million Americans have eczema, and eczema is a very painful and itchy condition. If you've never suffered it before, it's, it looks like a skin rash, but it drives you nuts. So it's not a normal skin rash. It's something that's painful and itchy, keeps you awake at night, causes social embarrassment. It can affect the whole family, if you've got a child with eczema, because childhood eczema is really quite common. It can, it can make it hard to go to school and connect with friends. And it can really be time consuming because, you're applying creams all day, and it's often linked with food allergies and food intolerances. So watch what you eat and watch what you do. And it's can be really painful. And, acne is another condition that I've covered in here, which is a huge problem with people, especially teenagers, but often adults, because of our modern way of eating, which is, can actually be triggering the acne. So, and that can be socially embarrassing, especially for teenagers as well. And there's so much you can do to get rid of acne really quickly. So, I thought that was really important to cover that so people don't suffer needlessly.
Yeah, it's so empowering because there's so many young people having issues and not really understanding that it's probably something they're eating.
Yeah, absolutely. Something as simple as changing your cooking oil can get rid of your acne. I know that, almonds are very popular these days, and almond milk. And I remember my editor said to me in one of my previous books, and she's like, oh my God, my skin has been breaking out like I'm a teenager again. And she said, I started drinking almond milk. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably the almond milk because it's so high in omega-6 oils, and someone who is prone to breakouts, it's just going to set their skin off. So, regular cooking oils are terrible for acne. So someone with acne, if they were choosing a cooking oil, probably extra virgin olive oil is probably the only oil that they really should be consuming, because anything else, any other vegetable oil is really going to create the extra oil in their skin, and same with most nuts, because they're also high in oil. And it's just, switching your cooking oil could be one of the main things that clears up your skin. And it also means, not getting takeout because of the crappy cooking oils that are used in fried foods when you eat out. So that can be a problem as well.
So when we have cravings, what is that really telling us?
Well, yeah, the funny thing is, so the cravings are often linked to our gut microbiome. So the little microbes in our belly are going, oh, hey, it's chocolate time. I haven't had that for a while. So it's funny, researchers have found that people who crave chocolate have different gut microbiome than people who are indifferent to chocolate. So it's not necessarily us that is craving the food. It's it's the little guys that help to digest our food and help to keep our gut healthy, or it's the bad microbes that are in our gut, proliferating and saying, hey, I want more sugar. So there are gut microbiomes that love sugar, and there are others because I know me personally, I'm a savory. I love savory food, and that's what I crave. Whereas another person can crave sugar and sweet stuff. So that's the gut microbiome according to research. So what we can do to change and work on our cravings is to change our diet and change the way we eat, because within 3 days you can actually change a craving if you don't give into it. And or don't overindulge in it as well, because the more you overindulge in one particular food, those gut microbiome get stronger, and the microbes that love your broccoli and your leafy greens get weaker. There's less of them, so they don't proliferate. So switching up your diet and changing it can actually change those cravings and the gut microbiome.
You often hear that, sugar cravings are the equivalent to like a heroin addiction, because so many people are just really craving sugar and it's really tough. So what are some ways that they can stop craving sugar? I know you talked about eating healthier foods.
Yeah, absolutely. And doing a short fast can actually help. Fasting's not right for everyone, but someone whose cravings are out of control can even just do a super short fast. It's just like a 1 day, 24-hour fast, which basically means maybe just skipping dinner or skipping breakfast, and that just kind of stretches out the time that you eat, and it just will get to the point where your cravings pass. So that's one way to help with the cravings. Another way is to, it's called like brain retraining. It's like distracting yourself when you have a craving and replacing it with something healthier. So say you've got a sweet craving, instead of choosing something that's, say, an empty calorie, really unhealthy sugar that's, like, say, sweets and so forth. So choosing it for, say, a natural sugar. So, cooking with, say, even maple sugar, a maple syrup, which is more nutritious and more pure than other types of sugar. So just switching it out, halving the amount of sugar, gradually cutting down, will all really, really help with those cravings. And it's about, choosing those healthier choices rather than giving into the cravings, because it's like the body is taking over. So you've got to, you've got to show the body who's boss and go, okay, well, I'm going to go for a walk instead, and when I come back I'm going to have something healthier, or I'm going to start cooking early so I can actually make a healthier choice.
Yeah, so you have that bowl of broccoli instead of the donut.
Yeah. or you make some homemade muffins instead of the store-bought donut, or my favorite is like pear crumble, something like that you can make in bulk, and it's healthier, and that it's full of oats and it's full of fruit that is nice fresh fruit that's been cooked up, and something like that. is low GI. Have you heard of the glycemic index, where it just gives you a steady supply of energy rather than a big burst of sugar and glucose, and you get a dip afterwards? It's, it's nice steady energy. You're going to feel more satisfied, and you're not going to end up needing another meal half an hour or an hour later. So yeah, it's just making those choices where the food's a little bit more dense and satisfying, and things like oats and most types of fruits, can get you there. With the exception of so high GI fruit would be something like watermelon. So you're better off choosing something like pear or papaya or pawpaw. Or apples, for example, something that's going to sustain you a little bit longer.
Yes. I mean, that's such great information. And I know people are taking notes right now going, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But of course, they're going to pick up the Healthy Skin Kitchen as well. I know you talk about in your book, the vagus nerve and why should we care? And I'd love for you to share a little bit about that with our listeners.
Yeah, the vagus nerve is fascinating, and it's a really hot topic right now. So the vagus nerve, there's a couple of vagus nerves in your body. It goes from your head down to around your sacrum area, and it's this wonderful nerve that kind of helps us to feel relaxed and happy, and it's what we want to develop in our bodies is a really good vagal tone. So what the vagal tone does is it puts a brake on the stress response. We're all so stressed and busy these days. And I know that I grew up as a very anxious child that, I wouldn't walk to the shops by myself. I needed somebody to come with me. So I had that level of anxiety when I was younger, and that's poor vagal tone. So it's amazing how the vagal tone can actually cause a whole bunch of skin problems as well. It's like, getting a stress pimple. So it's learning about vagal tone helps you to manage stress, and doctors can actually test your vagal tone. It's really important for heart health. It's you can have your cardiac vagal tone tested to see how good it is by testing your heart rate variability. So it's a simple medical test done by doctors and heart specialists. And it's, I find you don't really need to go get the test done unless you do have, say, heart issues or certain health issues. They will go test it. I find that, when you have a relaxed voice and you feel relaxed and wonderful and happy and grateful within your body, you're vagally toned. What they call the vagus nerve is the gratitude nerve, or the nerve of compassion. When you're in a state of gratitude and compassion and feeling peaceful, your vagus nerve is healthy. So you can also improve your vagus nerve by practicing gratitude. And that's such a simple technique. And what's wonderful about gratitude is it sends your body messages that you're safe. So it sends your vagus nerve and your nervous system safety messages, and that helps to just calm down the stress response. So just something as simple as listing things you're grateful for, like, I'm grateful for a beautiful sunny day. We've had lots and lots of rain here, and I'm a gardener, and I'm like, I'm grateful for the rain. It's a little bit too much, but I can see that my garden's thriving, and so it's looking at the positive side and not the flooding. And it's being grateful for your family, being grateful for healthy food and a healthy body, and feeling fantastic. And it's and that's just switching off that fight or flight nervous system and calming you right down. It's as simple as that.
Well, thank you for taking the time to explain it, because I knew it was such an important piece. And I love how you share different things in your book. You talk about how we can, pretty much tone our vagal nerve, and how we can go ahead and use it to relieve stress. And so you've got all these points. When you're working with people and throughout your journey, What has been like the number one thing that people have come to you for? Has it been like inflammation, allergies? What is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I'm known as the eczema nutritionist. So yeah, have had a lot of eczema patients and also some unusual conditions as well, rosacea and psoriasis. And they've happened to, say have acne and they're like, oh, that's cleared up as well. And we weren't even treating that. So it's, we kind of go for the most severe skin conditions. So yeah, I've written a couple of books on eczema, the eczema detox and the eczema diet. So yeah, I have seen a lot of patients with those conditions over the years. I must say I don't see patients anymore. I've trained nutritionists to help in that field, and I put all my information in books because I feel like the books are more accessible for people, and I do specialize in inflammation and eczema because it's such a painful condition, and I know that they really do have a hard time of it, especially people with the head to toe eczema. I'll use an example. I had a patient many years ago. It was probably back many years ago when I was thinking, of not being a nutritionist anymore. But I was recommended this to see this woman who'd had head to toe eczema for pretty much most of her life, and she was in her 50s, so she'd had eczema for 50 years, and she tried everything, and she was desperate because she was in so much pain, and we put her on an elimination diet, and that got rid of 80% of her eczema. And she's like, oh, I'm really, really happy. And she's like, oh, can you design me the supplement you designed for your daughter when she had eczema? And so we had a supplement specially compounded for her, and she contacted me a week later and she said, my skin's gotten better. My kids are going, oh, your skin's so soft. And, but she did put in a lot of work with her dietary changes. We worked out what her triggers were. She was sensitive to everything. She was sensitive to chemicals and salicylates and some types of grains. And yeah, she really, her body really, really was out of balance. So, and she lives a normal life now. And she was probably the reason why I ended up staying in the field of eczema and skin health. And that was, probably nearly 20 years ago. So, I did want people to know, because people with eczema are told, there's no solutions for it and you've got to live with it and for the rest of your life kind of thing with the severe cases. Some cases of eczema are easy and a cream will help them. But some cases, you do need to work out food intolerances and triggers, environmental triggers, and avoid those temporarily avoid those for 3 months and then start reintroducing things. So there are lots of solutions. It's not always an easy solution, but to get that relief, it's doing investigation work. And, allergy testing is great, but it's not going to pick up food intolerances. So people go get their allergies tested and go, oh, this is what I'm sensitive to. And they take those foods out of the diet and they don't get better. And that's because it's probably partly that, but it's partly another trigger. And the only way you can tell is to actually change your diet and take certain things out. And then we get people to put those foods back in the diet and then see if that worsens their skin. So it makes such a difference, and it's such an eye-opening thing to try a food elimination diet. I do this FID program. It's food intolerance diagnosis program that anyone can do, and that way they can work out if chemical sensitivity is an issue, if they're reacting to histamines, if they're reacting to salicylates. Because usually the people who have tried everything and nothing has worked, they're probably chemical sensitive, and they're probably sensitive to those things, because that's kind of the missing link that people often don't know about.
Oh my goodness, how empowering that is for people to find that out, though, and then be able to make those adjustments. I mean, I think there are probably many people who are just so grateful that you stayed in this line of work, because of the great wealth of information that you bring. When I know a lot of times I've heard like you hear these keywords are like, oh, you should drink alkalized water. What is that all about?
Yeah, the body has a special acid alkaline balance. And now medical professions will tell you, well, that's not a thing because the body monitors its own acid alkaline balance. But how it does that, because calcium's alkaline. So if you're eating lots of acidic foods in your diet, and if you're really stressed, because stress increases acid in the body, your body will take calcium out of your bones to keep your blood in alkaline balance. So while the body does monitor it itself, you don't want your body, stealing calcium out of your bones in order to keep your blood healthy and alkalized. So what we can do is add alkalizing foods to our diet. Look, alkaline water is a good thing, but vegetables is what is really wonderful for alkalizing the body. So, and vegetables also come with a whole bunch of extra nutrients that water won't give us. So, it's your leafy greens, it's your cabbage, even fruit wise, bananas are alkalizing, and they're a beautiful, dense, nutritious food and a great snack. And there's apple cider vinegar. Now, someone with eczema might react to something like apple cider vinegar because it's natural in lots of chemical compounds. That's not so great for eczema. But for somebody who didn't have eczema, apple cider vinegar in water, you'd never have it straight, or lemon juice or lime juice. That's a great way to instantly make yourself some alkaline water at home. And having things like filtered water, getting a water filter jug rather than drinking tap water. While that won't necessarily make the water alkaline, it'll just purify the water enough, and then you can add something alkaline to it. But nothing really replaces eating your vegetables. Sweet potatoes are really wonderful ingredient that I say to add to people's diets, as opposed to, stocking up on rice and pasta. If, you have beautiful roasted sweet potato that's roasted until it's super, super soft. If it's not super soft and mushy, it's not going to be as yummy. So you've really got to, bake it in the oven until it's lovely and soft. And that's a way of getting really it's like a really healthy form of carbohydrate that's going to give you energy, and it's going to be wonderful for the skin as well. So it's just one of those really amazing skin foods.
Well, I know you have this list of things that we should eat, for healthy skin. What is one that you can share with us? I know you just shared one.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, for somebody with severe skin inflammation, I say add mung bean sprouts or pea shoots into the diet. What happens, and you can even pop them in smoothies. I add them into a smoothie each day. And what happens is when they're whizzed up in a smoothie, it releases something called DAO. So that's an enzyme that your body should make naturally, and it breaks down histamine in the body. So histamine is released when there is an allergic response in the body, and it's also naturally present in foods. So look, things like your fermented foods are really high in histamines, and there's and things like vinegars are naturally high in histamines. So your body should naturally make DAO and break down those histamines so they don't build up, and so we don't get allergic reactions, which is basically a histamine reaction. So someone who has allergies and issues with skin inflammation, adding your mung bean sprouts and your pea shoots to a smoothie each day can work wonders. And even sipping that, just before each meal or with each meal, can help people to break down the histamines that are naturally present in food. So, and they're just a powerhouse of nutrients. So, they're little alkalizing bombs. We were talking about acid alkaline. One of the most alkalizing foods you can get are sprouts. So they are so wonderful for the skin and so wonderful for the body, and great for people with allergies.
And
So
most people don't even know that,
no, absolutely, absolutely. And beetroot's another wonderful, highly alkalizing food that people can add to their diet as well. And it's a blood cleanser and it's really great for the skin.
Well, I love the recipes that you have in this book. I was so impressed with them. And I've actually got a few of them earmarked that I'm going to be cooking up this weekend. What is one that's your favorite?
Oh, well, the one I cook all the time is the oat and leek flatbread. So, there's nothing quite so satisfying as making your own bread. And these are flatbread. So you can make wraps with them, you can make tacos, you can use them as a pizza base. And they are so versatile. I like them as a kind of with a sancho bao type of filling in them. And yeah, they're actually even nice on their own. So that's probably my staple that I make all the time because it can be added to just about any meal, and you can kind of make up a whole batch. And I even take them with me when I travel. So that's definitely one of my favorites. And there's a caramelized leek sauce which makes everything taste good, so that's a really great recipe as well. And cashew cream, so I find that making your own sauces and creams that can go on top of your foods, just you have that on hand and you whip up a quick meal and then you've got your sauce to add to it. So I think that would be my favorites. But yes, there's lots of recipes in there. I actually designed 90 recipes and my publisher went, oh, we can only fit in 50. So I managed to squeeze in 60. So so it's yes, the rest will be on my website actually. So I have a nutritionist that helps me design recipes. So we just every week we're making a recipe.
Well, you've got some amazing ones here, and even, dessert type of recipes as well, because I think a lot of times when people think about this, they think, okay, no more dessert, it's done.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorites are the banana makes the best desserts. So I've got this banana flour pancake recipe, and there's an oat flour pancake recipe, and a couple of banana nice cream recipes that go on top, which are really beautiful. And frozen bananas on sticks was really fantastic. So we've got banana popsicles dipped in carob chocolate. So and that is just a great dessert. I make that, and my son, he's 13 now, and he's just loves those. So, you can go to the freezer and there's the frozen banana, and it's just, it's sweet and delicious. So, so I always get my kids to test the recipes as well. If they don't love the recipe, it actually doesn't make it into the book. So, because I think it's important, that the whole family can eat the foods that you're eating. So, everyone can enjoy good skin.
I'm sure your testers love that too, so making sure everything's the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, there's always nice food in the fridge here, so because we're always making recipes and testing stuff.
Oh my goodness. Well, Karen, I mean, we could obviously talk all day. I found your book just so empowering. I just love it. Where can our listeners connect with you and be part of your community and learn more about your other books as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we do have a large community, and through my website, skinfriend.com. And we also have a new website, healthyskinkitchen.com, where we give extra support for people who have severe skin disorders, and if they want to chat on the forum or get specialized advice, or join our online program for more recipes and for vagal tone exercises and meditations and things like that. So that's healthyskinkitchen.com and skinfriend.com as well. So because I've got my nutritionist staff who are trained with these programs that can answer any question, and they're always available to chat with.
Well, that's so important. Karen, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Oh, thanks, Marianne. Have a beautiful day.
Well, thank you, Karen. It has been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your new book, The Healthy Skin Kitchen. The Healthy Skin Kitchen's available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all indie retailers. And if you don't see it on the shelf, ask for them to order it. And of course, it's available on Kindle. Again, if you'd like to connect with Karen, you can at skinfriend.com for more information. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. You're listening to Moments with Marianne. And remember, make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary. A recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Moments with Marianne airs every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.